Hello and welcome to Buckman's Model Mania. Today we're going to be working on the '89 Batmobile Stage 4, which I didn't receive last month, but I did receive this month. So let's get the box open, and looking at the instructions, there should be a ton of parts in here. Oops. So we have a little package here. I'm not sure if these come off or not. Got a bunch of gauges here. Wow, sorry about that. We have the dash itself. Let's see, 4-7. If I can get my mouse over here. 4-7 is button panel, steering wheel, more panels. Wow. If it'll focus. Come on. Zoomed in too much to focus on that, but there you can actually read the writing on there. A few screws. These are E screws. Circuit breaker, or not circuit breaker, circuit board, lights. More little buttons, console, more screens and stuff. Just a ton of little parts. And that graphic is pretty cool. I might have to zoom out just a little bit so that I can actually get it to focus. Let's see. We'll go about there. And we'll find one that's got printing on it. There we go. Let's see what, well. Yeah, for some reason, and my camera just went yellow. So for some reason, it's not focusing well. Hang on just a second. I'm going to pause the camera, and then I'm going to come back after I've restarted the camera and see if I can get it to act better. I'll be right back. Okay, I think that did the trick. So we'll see what we see as we build. Let me look at the instructions real quick. So first thing we do is figure out where I put the steering wheel. There it is. So we got the steering wheel, and it has an emblem that gets inset to it. So we got the steering wheel here. Just so many parts. Okay, those are screws. Okay. In this bag are the pieces I'm looking for. And I'm not throwing any of these bags away because I may need them to store parts. I'm not sure, will this focus? There you go. Nice little bat logo on there. The steering wheel, until you put the bat logo on, is basically any side can be down. It's going to go on there, look like that. And then we're going to turn this over, and we're going to press the pins into that part. Get it as snug as possible. Make sure it's, oh, there we go. That's got it all the way in. So there we have the steering wheel. I will set that up here for right now. And then it says fix the LED plates. Pardon, sorry for the noise from the plastic. So we have the dash, and you can see there's a little square area in several places for the LED plates. And they're calling them LED plates. That's actually a pretty good name for them. We'll leave the circuit circuit board in here for right now. Well, I guess we'll take it out, but we will keep it away from the mat on this side because there's magnets over here. So I'm just looking. They have the wiring harness comes around, does not go through, doesn't go through the housing here, but it does go through that notch right there. You can see that notch, and I think it'll lay into here. So we're going to take the first LED plate. Okay. I'm looking at it and going, how is that going to stay in place? Let's see, inside arranging wires carefully. First LED is fitting to the left, second, third, connector at the end of the front. Each LED is fixed in place with an E screw. That's what I was looking for. And these are the E screws. Let me go ahead and move that up there. That should be, yeah, this pocket here is magnetic. These E screws are going into plastic. So let's try out the Mike Lane screwdriver. Mike Lane, if you did not know, provided me with parts for my 66 Batmobile. So the screw, I'll show you this and then talk through the others. The screw is going to go through that hole right there and into that hole in the back here. So we're going to put the screw on here like this. Let's see if we can get it in here. Sorry, I think I was just off camera. Oh. Come on. It's a little bit tricky, but once it threads in, once the screw threads in, it works like a champ. And as always with the LEDs, or with the circuit boards on these LEDs, do not over tighten them. You do not want to snap the LED. So the second one will go, instead of going to this socket here, is going to go to this socket down here, which is very conducive for the wires. They're laying the wire above the hole in the back, which I agree with. Right here is the hole in the back. The wire's above it. This one is actually sitting in place. And there is a pin on the other side. You can see the pin right there. Tighten that down. The third one, again, there's a pin right here, similar, and there actually isn't one on the fourth LED that I can see. But this one is going to go here like this. I just realized each of the LEDs has a hole in it for the, or each of the plates has a hole in it for the pin. Only two of the LEDs, or only two of the locating parts areas have pins in them. Make sure that is on the pin. It is. Tighten it down. Again, not too tight. We're going into plastic through a circuit board. You do not want to snap the circuit board, and you don't want to strip out the plastic. You go ahead and set this screw on the last one. There's how that looks like. And the fourth one, what I'm doing is I keep looking over to see how they are running their wires, because you want to avoid you don't want to avoid having this screw that's going to hold anything in going through one of those holes. You don't want it to go through your wires. That's bad. This one's going to be a little bit tricky. Those wires are very close together, but it should be okay. So that has got our LEDs in place. And like I said, this is going to go in here and wrap around the back right here. So to keep that in place, I am going to grab a short piece of tape. We're going to drop this wire in here. We're going to put this back here like this. And then I'm going to wrap a little bit of tape across like that, just to hold it in place, like that. And when it comes time, I need to make sure that this goes up into that notch. We don't want to have that get cut by a piece going onto it. So next we fit the screen onto the inside of the console, place the assembled console. Okay. That's not it. Like I said, tons of parts in this one. I'm actually very impressed with this time. Okay, we've got here is the console for the screen. And the screen is actually the one here with the Batmobile on it. This one right here. I want to make sure it should go in only one way, I'm pretty sure. So there are two pins. Okay. Two pins on the bottom here. Two locating holes. You can't see it really because it's clear, but two locating holes on the clear part, plus the buttons. So you got to line up the button holes, or the buttons with the button holes, along with the pins. Come on. Sorry, I'm not talking. There we go. Concentrating on this right now. Make sure that is in place. While I'm at it, I'm using my thumbnail on the back of the screen. Be careful you don't scratch the paint. But there, you've got the red buttons along there, and the Batmobile graphic. And so that is going to go on there. We need to get out the D screws. I'll go ahead and put the E screw up there. I don't think we're going to use it anymore. So we'll put the D screws right here. They're a little bit longer than E. Grab one of them, put it on a screwdriver. Love magnetic screwdrivers. And then we're going to take this, we're going to set it on here, double check. Is it set in? No, it just sets. You line it up like that. Set it on there up against this edge here. And the screw should go through back here into the part. You would think. Trying to line up the hole. Let's see. Let me back this out. That was text from my wife. Let me pause this real quick and I'll be right back. My mouse is not playing fun. Okay, I'm back, and what I did was I backed the screw out just a little bit and then lined up the post on the inside, and now that should pull this down in place, tighten it down. It looks just like that. Very nice. So the next thing they want us to do is 4-27. I think this should be it. Should go on like that. Oh, nice. Okay, there is a hole. I can take care of the tape right now. There's a hole right here, a screw hole. This is going to go down over top of that like that, which is going to trap the wire into that gap. We'll set a screw on here. I will retape the wire to the back of the console, but for right now it doesn't need to be there. Make sure that stays in place. And tighten this down. Ratcheting screwdriver is nice, but it's not long enough. And something's not right here. I'm going to push that in there just a little bit. It's not in the way of the screw. There was a gap at the top. That's why I backed it back out. Very important to fix that gap because, one, we want it to go together correctly, and two, more importantly, we don't want light to leak. That's better. There was a gap there. This now wraps around here. It is tight in place. That screws there. We'll go ahead and, there's another, I think that was where we put a screw in already, but we'll just lock that in place just like that. Okay, fit the buttons into, not this one, no, so many little panels. I'm going to go ahead and get them out so I know what I'm looking for. Not that, Not that one. Is that it? No. It must be this one. Must be this one. No, it's not this one. It's not this one. It is this one here, and they show it from the back. The way I know which one it is and where it's going to go is this one has these two tabs here that are going to go in that slot, those two slots right there. And we have, okay, that's empty. Multitude of buttons here. I don't know if you guys heard that or not. That was one of my dogs groaning. So we got silver buttons and switches, and black buttons and switches. How many? There's 3. There we go. This one here has 3 buttons on it, and it's going to go across the bottom here. Bottom, there's 3 holes there. That's where this one's going to go. So it is snug, nice press to fit. And you can see the buttons there now. There are Here we go. This is the next one up. And it is going to go in here like this. Again, push in, tension fit, or friction fit. There's those 3 buttons. And then one with only 2. This one's a little bit different because this one is going to go into this hole and this hole, caddy corner, leaving this one in the bottom right open. Hang on just a second. Sorry about that. Had to stop the dogs from chewing on our stairs. Okay, so this one, as I was saying, goes in here and leaves a hole that is further away from the basically you got a hole on either side of this piece once you're done. Get this pushed in here. There's a larger and a smaller button. The way it shows may not fit actually, but we'll try this again. Try getting the top one in first. It is a very snug little fit here. There we go. Hang on. That's the second time it has popped back loose. Well, there's your problem. I'm putting it in the wrong way. I was putting the buttons in the wrong direction. There we go. Goes right in. So what I was doing, and I'll point this out so you won't make this mistake. So what I was doing is, you see how it's in there lower left to upper right. I was going upper left to lower right. It went in, but it popped right back out. So that's that one in place. And then the next one that we put in here is a red colored one. And that one, I believe, is, yes, it's this one here. It's got 2 pins here, 1 pin here. It goes across this one right here, the long one in there. We get the tweezers. And make sure that it is all the way down. I don't know that there's going to be anything on the back of this holding it in place once this is on here. You can see that one's now in place. Hang on just a second. Our puppy was a little unhappy because, well, he's a little unhappy because Mom's not here right now. So the last part that goes in here is this one right here. And it goes across the top here. There are 4 pins on it, 4 holes in the part. This one is going to go on here. Come on. Like that. Push it in. And that holds in that little silver one. The red one's the only one I'm concerned at all about. Hopefully it will stay in place. If it doesn't, I have to take the entire dash back apart. And then this is going to slide in here right like that. 2 pins in there like that. Something. Hang on a second. Just double check here. I think it was actually the pin was actually catching the wire. Still sits up a little bit, but it's not as bad as it was. So you can see it spread. Actually, I pushed the pin back, pushed the pin all the way in. It popped down into place. Okay, so the next part that is going to go on here, and I know this may be long and drawn out. Can't help it. It is parts that come with it. It's, I mean, really nice that we have all these parts like this. I kind of think it's cool. So this, I believe, is the next part. Pretty nice. And what would we do? We have this part here. This part here, double checking against the manual. That part there is going to go in right there, like that. Push it all the way down. That's kind of cool the way that comes out, because we go from flat to, we have some circuit breakers here, a couple of knobs, not sure if they're knobs or buttons, but those sure look like circuit breakers to me. And then we take this silver one here, kind of an L shape. Bunch of little pins here and a big pin there. And that's going to go, best locating spot is the top left button there, or hole button, not sure what you want to call it. make sure it is. It's actually a pretty loose fitting one. And place the back plate 4-10, which is this one here. Yeah, this is the back plate for that, I think. Hang on. Yeah, that's got to be the back plate, considering I'm out of colored lit ones. Just looking to see, there is a screw hole. Okay, this one is a little bit loose, but that's okay because this one goes down over top of it. You push it in place. You get all your lights here. Everything's in place there. And then you use one of the D screws. Right there in that screw hole there. Tighten it down, being very careful because clear plastic is much more fragile than regular. Goes on there like that. Got all your switches and buttons, and you can see that you can see the colors a little bit. I'm actually pretty excited to see this in place and plugged in. And there's a little tab on the bottom here that's going to go into the slot right there. Push it down, it lays in there just like that. And we've got these last two pieces here. First one is this one here. Let's see, back of the left console shown. So we've got the black one. The W, kind of W-shaped one. Is going to go at the top. From the back, it's the top left of this console. Right there. And then you're going to take the silver one, double row of buttons. And it's going to go on the right hand side like that. Just make sure. Okay. And then we have this kind of U or bucket shaped one like that. It is going to go in here, upside down bucket. So it's going to cover the first, go over top of the first panel we put in, or set of switches. Cover that one, fill those two holes right there. And then the last one we have on this panel is that little one there. It has two little red lights on it. Highly suggest that you use tweezers when doing this. Push that in place like that. And then you can see, can't really see it because there's no light behind it, but you can see that is in place. The camera's not picking up the color as well as my eye does. And so once that's all in place, what we're going to do is we're going to take we're going to set it on the left-hand side here. These 2 points here are going to, or those 2 lugs are going to sit against the back panel here. And we're going to take 2 of the D screws. I'm going to put one in, start one, and I'm going to get the other one started. Make sure everything is being held in place at this point. Tighten it down. Just tight, not over tight. Don't strip out your screws. I apologize, but I don't apologize for the length of this video. I think this is kind of cool. You know, if it's something you're not interested in, you are welcome to skip on to the end. I appreciate it if you watch the whole video, but I'm not going to hold you hostage. So I'm looking at this. So it looks like this is going to go in here like this. Oops. Put it in there in the wrong spot. Hang on while I push this back out. I put it in upside down. I had the slanted hole on the wrong side. So the slanted hole goes over on this side, over to the right of the part. Went in so nicely before. Pins are all lining up. Let's see. Yeah, that's the way it goes. I do have to say, though, there's the problem. I had it in the right way at first. I'm holding the part, looking at it this way. This little tab is on the right-hand side rather than the left-hand side. So when you put it in, have it that way, and it pops in just perfect. It will not fit the other way. Do not push it that way and break it. It will fit. So we have that little spot there. Come on. We have that little spot there that is where this pair of lights is going to go. And it fits in there nicely. Just make sure. Yeah, it's not going to come out. And then once that's on there, we're going to make sure this tab is to the front. There's a little tab here. They're just going to line up with this slot right here. We're going to put that in place like that. And then we're going to take one of the D screws from the back. I'm just kind of curious because that sticks out more than I would expect it to. So let me see. Yeah, that is not the hole. Do not put your screw in trying to hold that panel in here. Put your screw in to the square hole there. Like that. just like that. Whoops. I forgot that one's not attached yet. But, so at this point we have a screw in here, one here, one here, one here, and one here. And so what we have left, whoops, did I skip a step? I did. I wonder if that's going to cause me an issue. I think it might. Yeah, when I put this part on, I missed a spot. I don't know. Oops. Let me see if I'm going to be able to. Yeah, I'll be able to fit that in there. Oopsie. Okay, I thought I had a lot of stuff left over. So we got this part here, and the way they go in place is this one here is going to go, it's kind of a Y or a T-shaped one, is going to go right here. I'll show you in a second once I get it in place. Okay, it is very nice and snug. So that one's right there. These buttons, 3 buttons right there. Next one I'm going to put in place is this one here, and it goes underneath the gauges on the right hand side. You can see the holes there at the top. I'm going to hold it up higher. And that is it right there. And then there's one more black one, and it goes across the center bottom. I think the best way to locate this one for sure, I believe that square hole. Yeah, the square, there's a square knob right there, right next to the, right in the middle, and a square hole in the console right there. That's going to go in there like this. So that's it right there on the bottom. And then right above that, we're going to put the last silver buttons. There's a little bump and a notch here, so there's only one spot it can fit. That's going to go on there like this. And so that's what it looks like. Got 1, 2, 3, 4 pieces that we've attached. Got a bunch of knobs now. And then we have this one, which I wasn't sure of at the beginning whether these peeled off or how they worked. These stay just like that. It's going to slide on here like that. And so we have all the gauges. That looks really cool, and they are eligible. You can actually read them. I don't know if you can off camera, but I can. Then we take 2 D-size screws. You got 2 lugs here that we're going to put the screws into to hold the clear part in place, which is going to hold everything together. That one's snug. that one's snug. You can see the screws now back there. And if I had put this in the right order, this would just drop in place here. But because I put this console in first, what I have to do is, there's a little lip here that this one would hold down, that little lip. I just take that little lip in like that. I should be able to push that over. It is not quite fitting. Oh wait, there we go. I had to mess with it a little bit. But now, there we go. And there's a lip inside the part here that you have to line up. So that's in place. You have to make sure, if you do it the way I did, you have to make sure you get that lip in there far enough. Turn it around. And the last two holes are where these last two screws are going to go. Just going to go one from the back, the upper left, and one on the lower right. Tighten it down, just snug, don't over tighten it. And my tape is not doing anything for me right now. So there is the console. Very cool. You can see this is the center console. The driver's going to be over here. Here's where the steering wheel is going to go, just like that. But now for the really cool part, I know there was one. Where is it? I know there was a battery. Did I leave it in the box? I did not leave it in the box. So let me pause real quick because oh, you know what? It wasn't in this box. The battery, did not realize it was part of pack 4. The battery was in the shipping box. And like I said, this is pack 4. I said at the beginning too, I believe. This is pack 4, which is out of order, which is fine. I honestly think this part was worth the wait. So let's get the battery out of here. Interesting. I've never had a package quite like this because you rip the paper off and you're not to the battery yet. There's plastic laying over it. Hang on a second. There's more than one way to skin a battery, or a cat for that matter. Still not open. I was almost going to pull the blade towards me to get this open, and I thought better of it. Come on, come on. There we go. So get rid of that. Make sure you put your battery in correctly. It says that got the plus stamped on this side. And so you're going to slide the battery in like this. And let me double check on the instructions, make sure I'm not doing anything wrong. It says, okay, there's a spot that says LED. Oh, okay. We got motor, LED, and key. So my thought is this is let me see, is this CR? Yes, this is a test circuit. This will not be the final board, but we're going to plug the LED here in. Make sure we get it the right way around. And by the way, this is harness AA. Come on. Does that flip you over? No. Had it almost in there. That is very snug. I don't know if you saw, but the panel came to life for a second there. There we go. Let me see, what does the switch do? Switch does not do anything for the panel. Let me see. Okay, you can see this is lit up. Let me try this real quick. I don't know how well it's going to work since I have a window right in front of me. For me, I can see there are lights. You can see there, the lights there. Really pretty cool. And unfortunately, the camera is blowing out the LEDs, but you can see all the lights. The gauges are lit. Really pretty cool. So let me turn the lights back on. Marathon video here. Okay, that, my friends, is all there is to do in this stage, except for unplug this, because if I leave it plugged in, it's going to burn out the battery. Really cool. I am really impressed with this. I like it a lot. And what I'm going to do when I store it, I'm going to put it back in here. It should fit, I think, there. Yeah, it's going to fit just barely. But I'm guessing this is going to be a part that we're going to put away for a while. It doesn't quite want to stay in the box. I'll mess with that off camera. But that is a really impressive part. I mean, it took me almost an hour to put it together. Really impressed with it. Really like it. Love this thing. This is a sponsored build, and I forgot to mention that at the beginning. If you'd like to get if you liked the what the build looks like and you'd like to get one for yourself, there will be a link in the description. Just click it. There should be one for the UK, one for the US. Great build. I'm really impressed with this so far. I am enjoying it immensely. Can't say enough good about it. And those of you who've watched my channel for a while know that I do not sugarcoat. If I don't like something, I'll say I don't like it. With that, I am going to say thank you for watching. I really appreciate you watching. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, like, subscribe, and hit the bell icon to be notified of any time I post new content. With that, take care of yourselves, take care of each other. Have a great day. Have a great day tomorrow. And I will see you in the next video or stream.